Welcome back to the Six Pennies podcast. Alby, how's it going, man?
Good. Just excited to record more podcasts, and we're getting a lot of hits on Facebook, so it's exciting.
Yeah, people got lots of questions for us, and we're not going to answer any of them today. We instead have a topic that we wanted to talk about. Somebody mentioned something similar. They're asking the difference or the competition between Nike and Adidas. And that's something we'll talk about on a later day. It'll be a longer podcast. This one's going to be a little bit quicker. But speaking of Nike and the clothing industry for sportswear and apparel, we wanted to compare Nike with Lululemon, a little bit more up and coming, a newer brand. And
Canada.
Yeah. So why don't you tell me a little something about Nike?
About Nike, for me, Nike is like a staple in my life. It's been part of it for so long, ever since I can remember. I remember, like when I was a kid, the newest Air Max 95s were huge for me and stuff like that. So ever since like 20 years ago, Nike was always a big part of my life. And even today, Nike is all around me. I have good friends that work for the company. I have one that is a manager. And so he gets like really good discounts and stuff for me. So that's great.
Okay. Now you started with the Air Max 95, and that's like, yeah, I had that shoe too. It was awesome.
Yeah.
The shoes were really great. But what about the clothing?
Yeah.
Starting from like 20 years ago and then to today, what's it like now?
I would say like Nike probably went through this bad phase in the 90s where, they would hire cheap labor, whether it's China or India, for really cheap, low-quality products. But I think it's really changed recently, and I think it's because of their technology department. A lot of things that they're pushing technology-wise is great, like Tech Fleece, Tech Knit, Aeroloft, all the different tights that they have. Aeroloft is something that is kind of newer. It's more for the winter, and then it's more it keeps you warm while releasing like the air and toxins from your body. I don't know how they do it, but they do it, and it's amazing.
It releases the toxins from your body?
Yeah, like it allows all the vapors and body heat and vape and toxins. Yeah, toxins and stuff like that, and it allows airflow to go out, but it keeps heat within. So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So it's breathable where your sweat doesn't like stay in there, it goes out. But then I thought you meant there actually something in it that takes toxins out. That'd be incredible.
I wouldn't put it past Nike. They're pretty crazy. I will say though, what really turned it for me was all the different technology regarding the tights in Nike. Yeah, because I play a lot of basketball and football and tennis, whether that's indoors or outdoors. I like to keep my muscles and body warm. And so the technology they have around tights are amazing. Dry Fit, ThermaFit, Storm Fit, Dry Fit UV for the sun. Like, it's pretty crazy what Nike can do.
So all these different things you named, do you own like at least one or two items of each of those?
So Aeroloft, my friend Hal, he's really trying to push onto me. So he's bought me like 3 or 4 different Aeroloft items from Nike, and they're really expensive. And I'm like, hey, if you want to buy it.
How much are you thinking? How much is it in general?
Like, there was an Aeroloft vest that was like $200.
That's a vest. So what about like, do they have pants or like a shirt? Like a t-shirt?
That's kind of like a quick trick question for me because I don't really wear pants. I'm just mostly like athletic shorts and jeans. But I do have like a couple tops that are Aeroloft, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how much would that be? Like $50 for a shirt, or like
without discount? Yeah, retail is probably like $60, $70, $80 for sure.
So how often do you buy things from Nike at retail?
0 times.
Yeah, that's one thing we'll get to, because me too. Like you mentioned how big a deal it was growing up. That's the same thing. Like in high school and like through college, it was always about like having the coolest Nike shorts, like Jordan shorts. I didn't have like that many or anything, but it was definitely a way that we measured how cool somebody was how many cool shorts they had. And then, yeah, I never bought any of them at full price. It was always on sale. It was at outlets. It was never just the full price. So
Yeah, so funny story. I do remember when I was in fourth grade, I was finally able to get my fifth Jordan T-shirt, and it made me really fifth. It made me really excited because I could wear Michael Jordan Monday through
every
Friday, yeah, and do it the same for the very next week.
That's pretty awesome. I don't think I had five. I had a couple of them. I always wore them. I don't know why you don't wear pants, but I always had like the sweatpants and like windbreaker pants, either Nike or Adidas. But I wanted to ask you about these newer brands because I don't know much about them because I don't really buy all those different things you mentioned, Aeroloft, I have some dry fit stuff that's a little older, but what's the durability of those items like and the quality? Because I think a lot of the older or plain cheaper items for Nike, they're just the elastic waistband would always give out a little bit. They just didn't seem as durable to me. What is it like for these other brands?
Yeah, so I know what you're trying to get at here, but I think that the quality and the durability is a lot better than it used to be. I think because they've really pushed the envelope in terms of getting into all the different major sports. Like currently, they're like they're the official outfitter for the NFL, so they have all these different technologies to try to keep it durable and long lasting because they're tackling each other in the NFL, and soon they're gonna become the official outfitter for the NBA, and so things like that I think really helps them. Improve their quality. With that being said, though, like Nike socks and stuff, they wear down really quick. Nike.
Well, that's funny because Nike socks are like the only thing that I have that I wear all the time. Like I have Nike dry fit socks that I've.
Well, those are like $14
7 or 8 years.
Yeah, I mean those are like $14 a pair. Those are different. I'm talking about the regular.
Mine are the cheap ones.
That you get really?
From, like Nordstrom Rack or like Marshalls. They're like $3 a pair or something.
Oh, nice.
I've worn the same ones. Maybe I just don't like work out very hard or play sports very hard.
Yeah, maybe you just don't run.
Yeah, I hate running. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, that wasn't really. I'm not trying to make a point there with the durability. I'm just curious, like what it's like now because I just haven't bought anything Nike in a while. Every time I go to an outlet, it's like packed with people. Everyone's buying tons of stuff. The line is long, so I don't even want to go in there.
Okay. So what's your brand now?
I mean, we teased it. It's Lululemon because of my wife.
Okay.
When we started dating.
Because of your wife.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we started dating like 5-6 years ago, and she had so many Lululemon pants. I always made fun of her and thought it was weird, and it was super expensive compared to something like a Nike workout gear. So you're talking about like $70-$80 for a pair of pants, which now is like $90, $100, $110. They keep raising prices, which is crazy. And she asked if I wanted any, and I was like, no way. That's like yoga pants. That's yoga clothes. And they've expanded a lot more. They created a lot of menswear. And she bought me a few things probably in 2013 or so. And every time I wore them, I felt kind of bad. I was like, this is really fancy. It doesn't feel like real athletic wear.
That's not the Timmy I know. He loves wearing expensive stuff.
Not back then, man. And it felt great. I didn't want to admit it, but especially because she was all over it and I was like trying to resist. But just the quality of those items were really good. We were doing CrossFit at the time, and it was good for like doing all the crazy Olympic lifts and squats and stuff. But it did feel weird for wearing for like other sports. So using it for wearing those items for like basketball or football or something, it felt strange. It looked a little odd too. It's a little slimmer than normal stuff.
Yeah, it has that European cut to it.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And then over the past couple of years, I think it probably like 2015, 16, it started getting way more mainstream. They started having outlets, and I think the quality dropped a bit to the point where, Sharon would, look online and look at their new stuff all the time. And now she just doesn't because it's just not great. I don't know if you know this about Lululemon, but they release different new items every week. like on their website on either Monday or Tuesday, there's literally completely new designs and items every single week. And I thought that was the craziest strategy ever, because how do you get through your stock of things? How do you find out what's actually popular? I don't know what it's like right now, but it's still, we see all these new items and they look worse and worse.
Well, I would say for me, I love Lululemon as well, and it's more of a recent thing.
Yeah, when I told you about it.
Yeah. When you did tell me back in like 2013,
you made
2014.
Fun of me, man, 3 years ago.
Yeah, because you're right. Like, who's gonna pay $120 for pants or like $70 for a tank top?
Yeah.
But just like you, I was heavily influenced by my significant other.
Nice.
Yeah, my fiance now, she is really, really into Lululemon. Her two brands right now are Lululemon and Patagonia.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It's like the same person.
Yeah, right. But I will say, so we went to Seattle 2 years ago, and we did the whole Seattle thing. We also drove to Vancouver, but the thing that got us most excited during that trip was on the way to Vancouver. While driving, we saw there was a Lululemon outlet.
Yeah.
And we stopped by the outlet and we just like spent hundreds of dollars, and it was awesome because Lululemon, like you said, is great quality. Durability is like 5 out of 5 stars. I personally only have like the shorts and the tanks and maybe like 1 or 2 sweatshirts. I don't own any of the pants because I still, like I said, I don't really wear any pants. But yeah, I love Lululemon.
My first, or maybe probably my second item that I got was a pair of pants. I'm wearing them right now. I've worn them for 3 years. Like in the winter,
you still haven't taken them off?
What's that?
I said you still haven't taken them off for 3 years?
No, 3 years they've been on the whole time. No, I rotate through like 3 different pairs of pants that I have, and that's like all I wear at home because it's so comfortable. The durability, like you said, obviously is great. But it's like they're great performance too, or at least the items from a couple years ago were. And that's what my wife always told me about, how it was sweat wicking, so kind of like that AeroLoft thing. But then stretchable and elastic in a lot of different directions. Mm-hmm. And then it really did a good job of both keeping you warm and cool at the same time, depending on like the heat or the temperature outside. So like my wife wore them when we went to Minneapolis, and it was 0 degrees. I don't know why she didn't wear anything else, but she just wore those pants. And then we also wear them like in the summer as well. So it's pretty amazing.
Remember when I texted you when we were in Vancouver of all the different Lululemon bags that we got?
Yeah,
I was like, I was so excited.
Tell me to send you the bags.
Yeah, I was so excited that I was getting like this new color, and then you're like, we already have it.
Yeah, you're really into the bags when you didn't have any of the items. So we have tons of bags. They're like everywhere in our house.
Yeah, same here. They're actually cool bags just to like use, like take to.
They're useful.
Yeah, take to the market or take to the store. Yeah.
Yeah, the lunch bag is the way we use it a lot. But yeah, I think over the past 2 years or so, it's jumped the shark a little bit, and especially like the outlets. Like you mentioned, there were like no outlets at that time, probably when you went, and now there's several. They're definitely coming on board with different locations, and the outlets are awful. Like the selection is really poor. It's all their terrible stuff that they create every week that nobody buys, bad colors, and then they sell them for pretty cheap. It's just I don't buy anything at the outlets. I actually I normally don't buy anything at all from there.
There's the Timmy I know.
Yeah. And so yeah, outlets are bad, and just like their newer items, I'm just not into. So they also had a bunch of controversies over the past couple of years. Like their CEO had the comments about like their clothes being more for skinnier women, and so he resigned. They had like the recall of some see-through pants for a little bit. So
wait,
I'm not sure where they're at right now.
What was the recall on the see-through pants?
Well, they had pants that they didn't realize were slightly see-through, so they recalled all of them.
Pretty sure they knew exactly what they were doing.
I don't know, man. So I don't know. I'm interested to try some of this new Nike stuff just to see how good it is. But then again, this Lulu stuff I've had for 3 or 4 years is so durable. Maybe I don't need to buy anything.
Yeah, I am in love with Lululemon's like khaki shorts. I have 3 or 4
Oh,
pairs of those.
that's the thing I haven't gotten to is their non-athletic wear. And one of my friends just bought like some dress pants from there, and he loves them. He's never owned anything Lululemon, and he thought it was so strange to even think of that. But we were at a store, and he tried some on. They were like on sale, so he picked them up, and he loves them because they're stretchy. He can like move around well with them, even when he's at work. You have their khakis. Do you have other like non-athletic apparel?
No, that's it. I mean, like sweatshirts, but that's more casual than
Yeah.
non-athletic.
Got it. We also have. I got my wife a backpack and like a toiletry bag from there last year for Christmas or something, and those are also really good. Very functional. Like they have the pockets in the right places, and it's just good quality stuff for those items. Just not so sure about their clothing nowadays.
I feel like their clothing is still good. I will say that I've been wanting like a hat from them, but it's like $50, and they never go on sale.
Yeah, that's the big thing there. The prices of the good items and the new stuff that's really cool, it's always going to be like probably in general double of something like Nike, and it's hard to justify that. Even if you find out later that you use it for twice as long, it's still hard to justify at the time. All right, what else you got? Anything else for Nike and Lululemon?
Not really. I would say both brands are good. I'd say both are positive, and I like both of them. I just right now at this present time, I'm more of a Lulu guy than a Nike guy. Sorry,
Where do you think
Caleb.
you'll be in 5 years?
In 5 years, it'll be more of like a Dockers type of guy.
Oh, no, I mean between Nike and Lulu, who do you think is going to have the upper hand at that point?
Between these two, neither. It'll probably be Adidas at that point.
Oh,
You heard it here first.
I
Teaser.
would still bet on Nike. I don't think Lulu is going to be good long term. I think Nike's catching up. All that technology you said, I think it's trying to make sure that they stay in line with brands like Lulu. So, all right. Well, thanks for joining the Six Pennies podcast once again. Give us a like and a follow on Facebook at Six Pennies Podcast and Twitter at Six Pennies Pod.
Thanks, guys.